we're going to talk about what is a unique selling proposition. And I'm going to give you 5 real examples that you can learn from. Welcome to another weekly marketing mastermind with Coach D, where solopreneurs and small business owners just like you learn how to market smart, build simple systems, and grow without the tech overwhelm. I'm Coach D, and every week I show you how to take action, make progress, and build a business that works for you, not the other way around. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, baby, and follow along as we work smarter, not harder. Let's get into it. All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Coach D. Listen, I wanted to jump on here and give you guys some insider information real quick. If you are struggling with, maybe you're getting leads, but they're not really converting, right? They're not really becoming your customers. I'm going to show you this one concept that can actually increase your conversions, increase your sales, get people to become, that are not leads, become leads, the ones that are leads to become your customers. All right. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do in my business. And you want to stick around to the end because I'm going to give you a bonus example, which is the one that I specifically use in my business. All right. And I'm going to show you guys that actually in action. Okay. So first off, we need to talk about what is a unique selling proposition. Basically, in layman's terms, it's something that makes your business unique. Now, this goes for any type of business. It really does not matter. I know a lot of times y'all think that stuff only pertains to some type of business. It doesn't matter if it's an online business or offline business. It doesn't matter. It pertains to you. It's something about your business, something about your service, something about your product, something about the way that you do things, right? That is unique to you. Now, that does not mean that nobody else does it. Okay, I want to make sure you understand that. All right, it doesn't mean that nobody else in the world does it. It means that there are other people in your industry, other businesses in your industry, in your niche that don't do it. Right? Okay, so that you can stand out. All right, now the whole thing about having a unique selling proposition is giving a person a reason to do business with you versus the other fella. I mean, straight like that, right? No matter if you have a network marketing business, right? What would be a reason why somebody would join you then versus join someone else, right? Unique selling proposition. No matter if you have a auto repair business, what would be a reason a person would come to your shop versus come to somebody else's shop? Unique selling proposition. Okay, it works in all industries, whether you have a restaurant, right? Whether you have a ministry, a faith ministry, maybe you have a church that you need to get some more members in your congregation, right? You want some more members under the fold, right? Some more people coming to your church, right? It's like, well, why they gonna come to you versus come to somebody else? This is why we get into a unique selling proposition. This can actually, when a person is looking up information, they're trying to find out whether they're on social media looking it up, whether they're on Google looking it up, and they're like, man, whose business should I go to? What service should I go to? What product should I buy? Right? You're like, they got all these options, 5 options, 10 options, 20 options, all these different options, but it's about what's going to make it unique to you to where they're going to say, you know what? Out of these 10 options I have, I'm going to choose that person. I'm going to choose to do business with D. I'm going to choose to do business with Jonathan, right? All right, so let's get into these examples. Okay, now these examples you probably have heard of, most likely you have, right? But you didn't even think about it, right? As being a unique selling proposition. You didn't think about it. Number one, now this one they used to do, I don't think they do it anymore, okay? But you'll probably remember it. Dominoes. They used to have something where if you order a pizza from them, they would have it delivered in 30 minutes or less, or else you would get the pizza for free. Okay. Now I don't think they do it anymore, but they used to do that. That is a unique selling proposition. Why? It's not that other businesses, other pizza businesses couldn't offer that, but the other ones weren't offering that. Okay. So Domino's really leaned into it and said, you know what? I'm going to lean all the way into that. That's what I'm going to kind of plant my flag on, and I'm going to run with that. And so why did that work? because it's important to understand why did it work, because it's not just a slogan. Okay, unique selling proposition is not about just having some fancy slogan. It worked because when people are ordering a pizza, they get off of work, right? They ordering a pizza, they probably didn't want to cook. They don't want to wait 2 hours for the pizza to come. Think about it. When you get off of work, you ordering a pizza for you and the family. Maybe you're just ordering it for you, right? You don't want to wait 2 hours for the food to come. You hungry, your tummy growling, right? You know what I mean? So it was like, you know what? If I had the choice between ordering it from a place like Domino's that's going to deliver it in 30 minutes, right? Or it's going to be free, right? Or a place like Pizza Hut, for example, that didn't have, that selling proposition at the time. It's like now I'm taking price out of the equation. Now it's not a matter of, is Domino's cheaper than Pizza Hut or cheaper than Papa John's or whatever, right? It's a matter of who's going to get me that thing faster, right? Who's going to satisfy this grumbling tummy faster? And that's what a unique selling proposition does for you. It takes you out of the fact that you don't have to be the cheapest product. You don't have to have the cheapest product. You don't have to have the cheapest service, right? It takes you out of that race, because now people are like, you know what? Even if I pay $2 more or $3 more over here with the Domino's piece, I'd rather do that because I'm going to get it in 30 minutes. Boom. More conversions, more sales. Let's do another example. All right. And as you guys tune in, all right, put down in the comments if you could think of an example yourself. Put down in the comments if you could think of a company that has a unique selling proposition. Put down in the comments and let's talk about it. Let's go on to another one. Chik Fila. Now, on this one, you might have didn't realize it, but I'm going to tell you, here's one of their unique selling propositions. The fact that they sell chicken versus other types of meats. Like they don't sell chicken plus hamburger or chicken plus steak or chicken plus pork. At least at this moment they don't, right? Now, why is that a unique selling proposition? Because when people get to know you or that company, in this case Chick-fil-A, for selling chicken, right? When they get to know you for selling chicken, when they want a good piece of chicken, a good chicken sandwich, they're looking to go to Chick-fil-A. Okay? Then what that does for Chick-fil-A is allows them to really be able to hone in on their skills of perfecting that Chick-fil-A sandwich, right? Perfecting the way that they cook that sandwich and how they make it so good. Perfecting, worry about perfecting how they can get that Chick-fil-A sandwich out faster to that long line of people. And I know y'all done seen them lines be long as hell, but them lines be moving faster than them shorter lines in other restaurants. I know y'all done seen that before. You be like number 20 in line, and you be like, damn, man, it's gonna take forever. And then you look across the way, and it might be a Burger King or something. They might like got 5 people in line. But you want to get your food faster at Chick-fil-A. That's wild. But anyway, the point is, because they're unique because they just worry about the chicken. They honing in on the chicken, right? So you get to know them for the chicken. So now it don't matter that their chicken sandwich might be, I don't know how much it is now. Man, when I used to work there, I used to be a manager there. When I was a manager there, it was $4.79 for a combo. That ain't how much it is now. I just be swiping my card now. But it might be like, let's say it's like $7 for a chicken sandwich now, right? So it might be $7 for a chicken sandwich there. And then over at McDonald's, you might get a McChicken sandwich for $5, for example. Because sometimes they be having it like 2 for $5 over McDonald's, right? But guess what? McDonald's sell these other things too. And you like, man, I just want me a good chicken sandwich. So you gonna mosey on over there in that line with 20 people in it and get you a Chick-fil-A sandwich. That's a unique selling proposition, something that's unique to them. It doesn't mean they're the only ones that sell chicken, but the fact that what makes them unique is that that's the only sandwich they sell. It's the chicken sandwich. You see what I'm saying? So now let's go on to another one. Best Buy. I like shopping at Best Buy. That's like, my favorite store to shop at when I'm getting technical stuff. You know what I'm saying? Any type of electronics, right? My computer came from there, sometimes you get a good one, sometimes you get a bad one. Sorry about that, but it be what it be. But I like shopping there. But the point is, one of the unique selling propositions they have is a price match guarantee, to whereas if you find a product, that they sell to you cheaper somewhere else, they'll match it. Now, here's the thing. You say, well, there's other places that offer price match guarantees. This is true. But not everybody leans into it. Leans into it, meaning they put it at the forefront, right? And make sure you know it through their advertising, through their website, through their emails. If you're on their email list, I'm on their email list, right? They make sure you know it. So the unique selling proposition is not just about you're the only one that does it. It's about, are you leaning into that, and are you putting it at the forefront? Are you yelling it from the rooftop? So that way everybody knows that that's your thing, right? There are stores that will do price matching that you don't even know that they will. You have to like look for their terms and conditions on their website, or you have to like call up there and see if you can get somebody on the phone and ask them before you go over there, right? Because they haven't leaned into it, right? But Best Buy leans into it. They're like, yo, we so confident in the pricing structure that we have, right? That we feel like you ain't gonna get a better price somewhere else. If you do, we'll match it. Don't even worry about it. We'll match it, right? So what does that do? That gives the customer a sense of peace of mind, so they don't have to worry about, like when I'm looking for, what was the last thing I got from them? I didn't get my phone from them. I got my phone from Cricket. This is my computer, but I had my computer already, my tablet. All right. When I was looking for my Samsung tablet, right? Well, I was looking for a tablet, period. It didn't necessarily have to be Samsung, but I was looking for a tablet, right? I didn't have to worry about looking at 20 different electronic stores to make sure I was getting the right price or getting the best price, because I knew that Best Buy had the price match guarantee. So I could go ahead confidently, let me go ahead and get that thing, right? And then as I'm using my tablet, down the line or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then if I happen to see something that's cheap, it's like, hey man, it was cheap over here. Y'all need to go on a price match that, right? But it gave me a sense of confidence that I was going to get the best price going there, right? So consequently, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even price shop. Just being real with you. And a lot of customers will do that. A lot of customers won't price shop certain things, because if you put it out there that you do a price match guarantee, a lot of customers won't take you up on it. I'm just being honest with you. They're gonna be like, well, shoot, they must got the best price, or else they wouldn't put that out there, You know what I mean? And so we're just gonna roll with that. You gotta think how a customer would think, right? In that situation. Because at the end of the day, what does the person want to get from Best Buy? They want electronics, whatever, if they're getting that. Like I got my Ninja from them too, right? That Ninja blender, I got that from there too, right? What they want the product, right? And they want to know they're getting the best price for it, in that particular case. Boom. That is how Best Buy, one of the ways Best Buy is able to stand out, because they got some other ones too that make them stand out. Their warranty is really good. But anyway, let's go on to another one. Geico. I know you heard this one. Geico. Geico be like, give us 15 minutes or less, and you can save 15% or more on your car insurance. So how is that unique? Here's the thing. There are other websites and companies to where you can go online, put in information, and you could get a quote on car insurance, right? And it could take you 15, 20 minutes, it won't take you too long. But Geico said, Geico leaned into it. Geico is the one telling you 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. So it's telling you that, hey, for a little bit of effort, for just 15 minutes of your time, I might be able to save you 15% on your car insurance. So you're like, well, shoot, nobody else telling me that. Nobody else telling me it's only going to take 15 minutes, because I ain't got all day to be looking for car insurance, man. But Geico said, give me 15 minutes and I'm going to save you 15% or more. You're like, well, shoot, and I'm going to save? So I have to do a little bit of effort to get a big outcome. That's a unique selling proposition. So then guess what? Now, more people go to Geico, right, to get their quote. And I'm going to tell you right now, from human behavior, not everybody, but a lot of us, we don't like having to shop around all these different places, right, for car insurance. Like, so if we go to one spot and that quote sound decent to us, to our bank account, to our income, okay, it don't matter if it sounds decent compared to others, because we don't know what the others are just yet, right? It's like, yeah, that sounds good, let's do it. Boom, Geico got a customer because of that unique selling proposition, okay? Let's go on to another one. It's our fifth one right here, number 5. All right, before we get into the bonus one. M&Ms. M&M's unique selling proposition, they say that the candy, what is it? The chocolate that melts in your mouth, not in your hand. You say, well, how is that a unique selling proposition? Just think about it for a minute. A lot of us like chocolate. Okay, I ain't gonna say everybody because everybody don't like chocolate, but a lot of us like chocolate. A lot of us like chocolate, right? But one thing about chocolate is you up there eating your bits of chocolate, like let's say you're eating your Hershey's, little kisses, right? And you get them, you put them things in your hand, they're gonna melt in your hand, you're gonna have little chocolate bits all over, right? So if you eating it on the go, for example, you eating your chocolate on the go, right? You're gonna get the chocolate on your hand, it's gonna be all messy and stuff. Now you gotta look for your towel or something like that, or a paper towel or something like that. You like, that's a little inconvenient. But if I tell you, hey, you can eat your chocolate and it's gonna melt in your mouth, it ain't gonna melt in your hand. Don't even worry about it. And so now you tasting that chocolate in your mouth. You ain't worried about it getting all chocolatey all over your hands no more. See what I'm saying? So even though there are other candies that have that candy coated chocolate, right? There are. You know it and I know it, right? Like Reese Pieces is a chocolate candy and it's candy coated. But who leaned into that unique selling proposition? Who's the one who tells you, right, that the candy that melts in your mouth down your hand? Who says it? M&Ms told you it. They told us that. So they leaned into that. So it's not about if only one company offers it. It's who's leaning into it. Who's standing on that? Who's putting that in your head to make sure you remember because they show it to you in their marketing all the time, in their marketing message? M&Ms, right? So now we get us a pack of M&Ms and we go ahead about our business. We might be, running some errands or whatever. We got them M&Ms. We eating them M&Ms, right? Not even thinking about it, right? Because of that unique selling proposition. It made them be able to stand out above the other companies that do the same thing. See what I'm saying? So now they get to sell, even though their pack of M&Ms, right, maybe, I don't know how much it costs now, let's say $2, but some other candy that's also chocolate candy and might even be coated might only be $1.25 at the $1.25 store. The dollar store, but they don't went up to $1.25, girl. Okay, right? But guess what? You're going to get them $2 M&Ms because they the ones told you that melts in your mouth, not in your hand. That's how it works. Words and images in the advertising and the marketing. So if you don't have a unique selling proposition, you're missing out. You're missing out on being able to convert some of them leads that's coming to you to be able to attract some of them leads. Now, as a bonus, I told you I was going to show you how I use a unique selling proposition in my business. Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how it helps me, and I'm going to show you how it can hurt you if you ain't using it. All right. Now, I actually use two unique selling propositions. So I'm going to show you both examples. Okay. Now, the first one I use, all right, and you guys can model after any of those that I've given you, okay, including the one that I'm about to give you. You can model after that when you're creating your unique selling proposition. Okay. The first one I use has to do with, am I unique in my industry? Now, the business that I'm talking about on this one, I'm going to show you how I have it on one of the websites that I'm building. On that easy website tool that I use, that I talk about all the time. Y'all can get in the first link in the description, the easy website tool I use. I'm creating another website. And in the industry that website is in, which is car recycling, I'm unique in that industry. How am I unique? Because I'm a female, and that's a car industry. All right. The majority of the people in the car recycling industry are males. So, but if I did not say what I'm about to say, like, let me show you. Let me show you. Let me get here. Let me share my screen and show you. All right. So if I didn't put this, nobody would know. Okay. So I put this on, this is a website that I'm building on that easy website tool that I told you guys about. Okay. First link in the description. You can be able to grab that. I say women owned and operated. Okay. Now, I don't have to blast that on like, like all throughout the site or anything. I don't have to do that, right? It's there, it's yellow, it's vibrant. When a person first comes to the home page, this is what they'll see: woman owned and operated. Now, how is that a unique selling proposition? I'm gonna explain it to you, man, because I swear this one works the best for me. I'm not gonna say the best because both of the ones I use work really good. This one right here works to get me the leads, and the second one I'm about to show you that I use works to convert the lead. That's what it is. One gets me the lead, the other converts the lead. Check me out. Check me out. And I know it for a fact. I know it for a fact. This one right here helps get me the lead. The woman owned and operated. Because the majority of people in this field, in the car recycling field, are men. So in my area, in my local area, okay, there are a lot of people, men and women, all right, who actually want to support a business that's different. They want to support women in industries that are typically male dominated, right? They want to support. How do I know this? They literally would tell me, oh, I chose your company to sell my car to because I saw that it was woman owned and operated. I thought that was really cool. Both men and women tell me this. They say, I thought that was really cool. Good for you. These are people in my local community, all right? This is a local business, telling me this, that this is why they chose my business, right? That was the tipping scale. I put it that way. That was the tipping scale because there was, numerous other businesses they could have chosen to do business with, but the tipping scale for them was the fact that it was woman owned and operated. So that's unique to me, okay? Because there's not a lot. I don't think there's any, okay? If there are, they don't advertise because I do check my market, by the way. All right, but there aren't any in my area that are woman owned and operated that have been doing it as long as I have. Okay, all right, it didn't just start up. All right, so right there, boom, that's all I had to do was put that on my marketing message, in this case on my website. All right, woman owned and operated. That's a unique selling proposition. So right there, if you are in an industry that is typically done by, a different type of person, like if you're in an industry that's typically done by men, then, and if your business is woman owned and operated, that would be a unique selling point, a unique selling proposition for you to use. All right, it's sometimes called a USP. That's just an abbreviation, right? That would be one that you could use, for example. Okay, and you can put that in your marketing message as well. Like I said, you don't have to, hit people over the head with it or whatever. Just make sure that they know it. You feel me? Another thing that I did along those same lines is when I named my company, when I named this one, because this is the one that this is the new website that I'm making, but the other website I didn't even do it intentionally, but it wound up in my favor. Man, I'm gonna tell you. Favor something else, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Well, that's a topic for another video. But when I tell you favor ain't fair, but it's on time, it's right there. So I didn't even know about this before when I named my other business, the Junk Car Lady, right? But the fact that it has the word lady in it lets people know that a female is attached to it somehow. You know what I mean? They might assume that it's female owned until they click the website and see, because the other website says it too, right? So in this one, once I realized that, when I created this website, like I said, I'm still creating this one. I said, you know what? That catches people's attention. That lets people know that there's a female, and because it's an industry that's male dominated, that lets people know that there's a female attached to this. That's why I named it Lady Junk Car Buyer. So if you're starting a company, here's just an idea for you, okay? You do what you want. Do what you want now, slowly, right? But if you're starting a company, you have not named it yet, right? And if there's something unique about you for that industry, you just depends on what your industry is and all, but you might want to kind of incorporate that into the name as well, all right? Because people may see the name before they actually click the link to see the website. You feel me? Boom. So that is definitely a unique selling point. And let me see. And down here, how I kind of, what I'm doing on this website, how I'm going to like kind of hone in on that, really drill that home. Because on my other website, I didn't drill that home. But once I started learning this, okay, I said when I make my new website here or my additional website, it's not going to replace the other one. My additional website, I said I want to drive it home. You feel me? I want to drive that point home, that unique selling point, right? So it says meet lady junk car buyer, right? And it's a picture of me, right? And when this is going to be clickable here, and it's going to go over and it's going to tell a little bit more about my story for those who want to read it, right? Who want to read it. And obviously it's going to be talking about, that I'm a woman in a male dominated field, right? And there's going to be a lot of people who want to read that situation, want to know how'd you get started. How do I know that they want to know that? Because they literally be asking me that when I pull up to their house to buy their car, right? So I'm using that information to now say, you know what? I'm seeing what is making people, in some cases choose me. So now I'm gonna lean in even more on that. I'm gonna lean in even more on that. See what I'm saying? Y'all get it. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. Now, that's the one I use to attract the customers. But there's another one that I use to convert the customers. Another unique selling point, okay? Unique selling proposition, all right? And I'm going to show you an example of when I used it and it worked, and I'm going to show you an example of when I didn't use it and it didn't work, okay? All right? When I didn't use it, it didn't work. So that way you can see both, so you can understand where I'm going with this, all right? Let's go here. I pulled it up on, I put it up here, okay. All right, on camera. Now, here's an example. Here, this is a text message. Okay, that's why I, blotted out their phone number. Okay. Now, they asked me about a quote on a car. This one, I actually happen to have done today. They asked me about a quote on the car. Okay, boom. I tell them about their quote. Then I say, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the unique proposition. Now, this quote was in at 9:25 in the morning. So it's still early in the morning. I don't open up till 9. Right? Still early in the morning. Now, in my messaging, I do say that same day appointments are available, okay, in some of my messaging, all right? So once I started seeing that that is something that people care about, because here's the thing, you may not know all of this stuff up front. You may not see it all up front, but when you see it, then you pivot and you lean into it. When you see it, you pivot and you lean into it. That's exactly what I have done. Okay, I didn't know this 10 years ago, 15 years ago when I started this business. I think it might have been 20 years ago. It's been a minute. Damn, it's been a minute. I didn't know this stuff then. I only started learning how to market in 2018, really 2019, really about maybe mid 2018. Because y'all know when I started 2018, I was losing. Damn, everybody started losing at first, till you learn some stuff. Then by 2019, I started learning some stuff, right? So anyway, here's the unique proposition. Where's this tool at? Get this tool right here. Draw this. This is what I started doing. I only started doing this. It's probably been like the last 2 years. The last 2 years of all them years before, I wasn't doing this because I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know, right? So I started doing this. I said, I'll tell the person, reply with your address to schedule an appointment. I say, the schedule appointment time as early as today. As early as today. That right there. Now, why is that a unique selling point? Because there's a lot of, companies, the majority of the companies that do the business that I do, they don't have same day appointments, right? It's, there's some companies out there, you hit them up, they get to you in 2 days, some will get to you in a week, and some never show up. How do I know this? Because my customers tell me, number one. Number two, I also did my market research. Okay. I do market research. I don't play no games with this, right? But also customers tell me, with their gripes that they have, they're like, oh, this company said they was coming and they ain't ever come, blah, 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 blah. Or this company said they couldn't come to another 2 weeks or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the case may be, right? Appointment time as early as today. This one right here is the one that helps me convert the person. Why does this work? Why does this work? I'm going to explain to you why it works now. Because I understand my customers, and as I learn more about my customer, then what do? We pivot and we use that information to help, right? To help increase sales. I understand that a lot of times when people are selling their junk car, they probably don't got another car already. They don't got space to keep that car in their yard no more. Like, I live in the city. People don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody don't have 5 acres, you know, where they can just sit cars all out, you know what I mean? Let them sit there and rot. They might got a driveway that they could probably put 2 cars in. And it's probably like them, their wife, and maybe a teen kid. So they probably already got 2 to 3 cars that's running already. So they don't have space for that one that's not running. They need their space to park their actual family cars, right? So they need it going quickly. The convenience factor. The convenience factor. So when you're using the unique selling propositions, now you're not competing on price. It's less about, in my case, because I actually buy stuff, it's less about, you know, who's giving the most in this case, because I buy stuff, right? It's less about that. It's about, hey, that price is comparable to the other price. So what's going to make me, which one going to make me choose them? And why would I choose them? If the price is comparable, then this one said you could get an appointment as early as today. Just that simple. Now I'm going to show you another one, right? The same concept, but I'm going to show you where I couldn't do this unique selling proposition on that one, right? And I'm going to show you the result of it as well, okay? And this is another one that came in recently as well. All right. They hit me up. Now, notice they hit me up at like close to 2, okay? Now, of course, with my same-day appointments, the earlier a person calls, because it's on a first-come, first-served basis. So, earlier a person call in, the better chance they have of getting the same day. But a person call in when they can. You know, I can't rush a person calling in. They call in when they can. So, here's this person right here. I gave them the quote. They was good with that. But here's what I said, because it was already 2. I was already booked up for the day. For that day, I was already booked up. For appointments for that day, I was already booked up. I didn't have nothing that was going to be available until the next morning. So here's what I said to them. I said, I could meet you at the towing place tomorrow morning. That's what I told them, tomorrow morning, because that's when I can get to them. So then they hit me back. Notice the times now. Notice the times. This is at 1:54. They hit me back at 3. They said, tomorrow will be too late. They said, tomorrow will be too late. I get it. But what is this telling me? That if I was able to, excuse me, if I was able to be able to meet with that person that same day, right? By the time they hit me back 3 o'clock, right? If I was able to meet with them, that if I had appointments still available at 3 o'clock when they hit me back, that would have been my customer too. They said, tomorrow's too late. They didn't say, oh, I don't like the quote. They said, tomorrow's too late. And here's the thing. And I know how it works with those tow yards. I know how it works. They charge towing every single day, additional towing fee every single day, right? When your car get wrecked, it goes to them tow yards. They charge you a fee to get it over there. They charge you every single day. So that means tomorrow, that person will have another fee. So I understand. I get it. I understand. But I didn't have any more appointments open for that person. But the reason why I'm showing you this is because all it would have took is if this person, you know, had reached out to me earlier in this day on Monday, right? Then I could have still gotten them in, most likely on a same day appointment, and that person would be my customer. Straight like that. It wasn't about the price. It wasn't about nothing else. It was the unique selling proposition that I would have been able to, you know, help that person quickly. The convenience factor, the speed factor. You can do this with any type of business, right? There's unique selling propositions in any type of business, right? And convenience is a big one. When I was doing auto repair, one of the things was You know, some of them was speed. They're like, oh, when would I be able to get this back? But I flipped it because with auto repair, you're not always able to get a person in and out depending on what they want. They stuff don't start. And I understand they need their car because they got to go to work, right? They shit don't start. You don't know why it don't start yet till it get there and you diagnose it, right? So you can't tell them, yeah, I'm gonna have it back by the end of the day. You ain't even diagnosed it to see what's wrong with it, right? If you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure and you're setting the customer up for failure. But the way I used to convert those customers is I say, well, where do you work? Because most of my customers came from the same city where I was in, right? I say, well, where do you work? They tell me where they work. I say, well, listen, this is when I had another mechanic working with me. You know, I said, well, look, you come to the shop or whatever, drop it off, blah, 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 or we tow it because if it don't start, we had to tow it in. We tow it in. Excuse me, you come with it because they could come on it with a AAA or whatever. And I said, I'll make sure you, you know what I'm saying, get picked up from work, whatever the case may be, right? Get them a ride from work because they could probably get a ride to work, but they didn't have a way to get from work if we was going to have their car to the next day. And I said, I'll make sure you get from work. Oh, really? Thank you, D. I appreciate that. Because what did that do? That gave convenience. Now, some shops may have shuttles, right? That can take people back and forth, or they have loaner cars, right? That's a unique selling proposition. If you got loaner cars, some shops do have loaner cars. That per se, come on in and we'll give you this loaner car. I have done this before too. A person has brought me a vehicle depending upon what they needed done. It must have been something heavy that they needed done because I actually paid for a taxi at the time. Ubers wasn't that big. They wasn't that big yet. Taxis was still the thing, and I knew someone who drove a taxi. I actually paid for a taxi to take that person where they need to go. Said, boom, you got your car. I'll send a taxi for you and pay for them where they need to go. Right? But that's a unique selling proposition because it solved that problem. It wasn't about how much is it gonna cost to fix. Right? So I didn't need to worry about, in that case, lowering my price. See, so when you have these unique selling propositions, it's less of you worried about that you have to lower your price on things or bid higher on things or give away more free stuff on things, right? And we're going to talk about this in other videos too, because I want to show you how to do it in specific niches, right? Whether it be the network marketing niche, I'm going to show you how to do it there. I'm going to show you how to do it in some local business niches. You know what I'm saying? Show you how to actually create unique selling propositions so that way you can say, hey, because I know for some of you, the light bulb is going off now, but for some of you, it's not. I get it. But we're gonna rock and roll with it. All right. So guys, hopefully this has been helpful so that helps you understand what a unique selling proposition is. Understand those examples, understand why you need it, how it can help you get more customers, turn more leads into customers, make more sales, right? And everything is shooting people over to or leading people over to your website, your funnel, or your web page. And if you want to know the #1 tool that I use to create unlimited websites, unlimited funnels, unlimited web pages, you know, web pages like the one I showed you right here, right? This one I'm building out a whole site on this one, right? First link in the description. Check it out. Come on board. It's a $25 tool. I mean, I don't even know nothing cheaper than that. Like, what you gonna do? All right. Other than that, guys, if you happen to be watching this on Facebook, put down in the comments. Let me know what industry you're in so I can bring you more content that you want, right? That you want to hear about, you want to learn about. You watch this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, baby, and ring that bell so you can be alerted next time I bring out some content because I'm definitely bringing it to you every single week. Other than that, you already know, we out.